Salt Lake City real estate market is heating up. Homes are starting to sell faster, and there's more competition out there than there has been this last year. You've been waiting on the sidelines for the market to crash. I'm sorry to say that it doesn't look like that's going to happen here in the foreseeable future. But in today's video, we're going through the real estate market here in Salt Lake City and what has happened here in the last 30 days. So let's get into the video and jump right into it. New to my channel, my name is Marvin Alvarado, the sneakerhead realtor here in Salt Lake City, Utah. And if you're looking to buy your home here, sell your home, or simply looking to relocate here to the Salt Lake City area, I'm giving away my guides absolutely free. You can download them down below. So if you're looking to buy your first home and want to know everything you need to know about buying a home and make sure that you're fully prepared, the guide below will give you all that information. If you're looking to sell your home and want to get top dollar for your home, that guide will give you all the information you're going to need. And if you're looking to relocate here to the Salt Lake City area, my relocation guide to Salt Lake City will give you everything you need to know about moving here to the Salt Lake City area. So let's get into the video and check out the guides below. All right, so first thing we're going to look at is here, what has happened here in the last 30 days here in Salt Lake County. So up first, we're going to see the number of listings. So we're comparing what has happened here in the last 30 days to the same time period last year, so 2023. So as you can see here, there's been a 22% change in new listings, so 22% increase in new listings, 14.5% increase in closed sales, and then a 7.1% increase in the median sales price since the same time last year. So as you can see, the real estate market is heating up. There's a lot of new listings. People are making a move, upgrading, or either moving out of Utah, but they're making a move and making those changes. And obviously the number of closed sales has increased by 14.5% here in the last 30 days. So let's take a look at a few metrics here that I think are going to be very important. So last year in February, there was 994 new listings. And this year we've had 1,214 new listings for an increase of 22%. Closed sales, last year there was 800. This year we're at 916 for an increase of 14.5%. And one of the things that you see here is that the home values or the median sales price has increased pretty significantly. So if last year there was 495,000 was the median sales price, where 2024 this year the median sales price is 530,000 for a 7.1 increase since the same time last year. Another thing that's interesting here is that when we compare the same time last year, the percent of homes sold for the original list price was 95.3%, whereas this year we're at 97.2%. So a 2% increase, meaning that the majority of homes that are selling for the original list price or over asking price, and a very, very, very small percentage of them are selling for under the original asking price. Days on market, we're about the same, 58 days, so not much of a change there. And then one of the things that I also want to talk about here before we move on and look at this other section is that we're going to see what has happened here in the last 30 days when it comes to the homes that have sold for at the asking price, and how many homes have sold for over asking price. So I'll give you a few examples so you can get an idea of what's happening, and how much homes are selling for. But let's take a look at a couple more things here. One of the things that's interesting to see, in my opinion, is how many homes have sold here in the area by price range and what the increase has been. Obviously, we know that in the last year, luxury homes have been sitting on the market for a little bit longer. They haven't been selling as fast, whereas the more popular price range has been between 500 to 700,000, which looks like to be the case here for this month as well. But one of the things that I want to show you here is what is happening in the different price ranges. So as you can see, in 2023, there was about 30 homes that sold in the $200 to $300,000 price range. And then this year there's about 25. So yes, there has been a decrease, but keep in mind is that there's not very many homes in that price range here in Salt Lake County, unless you're looking for like a very small condo, very, very small townhome. But there's just not very many of them here in that area, or here in Salt Lake County. But as you can see in the $300,000 to $500,000 price range, there was a slight increase here in the number of properties sold by 0.6%. But then we look at the biggest section here, the 500 to 700,000 price range, which includes the median home price, median home here in Salt Lake County. You can see that last year there's 221 homes that sold in that price range, and this year we're at 291, which is a 31.7% increase. So pretty significant increase compared to last year. And then also in the $700,000 to $1 million price range, last year there was 113 homes that sold. This year we're at 145. For this same time period. For that's a over 28% increase. So as you can see, the things are moving fairly quickly. The spring market is here. It is, and the homes are selling a lot faster, or they're selling more homes are selling than there were the same time last year. And then the 1 million to 3 million, not a whole lot of change there. And then the 3 million plus, it's a little bit of a drop. Last year there was 2, and then this year there was 1. Just something to keep in mind. Obviously, the higher price ranges, they're still sitting on the market a little bit longer, but as you can see, the very popular price ranges are going to be between $300,000 to up to $700,000 price range. So like I said, as far as the pending sales or homes that are under contract, you can see that most price ranges are also in the above. They have increased in a positive way. The only area here you can see that there hasn't been as many homes under contract is the 500,000-700,000. So there's a slight decrease compared to the same time last year. But like I said, we know that things are picking up here in the spring months, and are going to usually continue to pick up until we get about to the summer, where things typically are still moving fairly quickly, but people are vacationing, and the kids are out for summer, so there is a slight little bit of a decrease. But the next thing that I want to take a look at here, what's happening with the interest rates here currently. So as you can see, the last 30 here for today, the last interest rate tier updates, 30-year fixed, there's about 6.45%. And then if we look at a 30-year FHA, you're about 5.67%. 30-year VA, 5.81%. So interest rates are a little bit lower than they have been the last several months, which is one of the reasons that it's getting a lot more competitive out there in the real estate market, is because those buyers that have been waiting, know that this is a time where they're able to get into a home. And there's other people that are waiting also to potentially see if interest rates drop down to the 3 to 4%, which is probably unlikely, but people that are buying know that if interest rates do continue to drop, they can get into a home right now, take advantage of the incentives that are still available out there, and be able to refinance at a later time. The next thing that I want to look at here, as far as the real estate market, and keep in mind is that I know for the last 6 months or so, there's been a lot of incentives, not only by sellers, but also by new construction builders. So they're offering a lot of incentives for buyers. But keep in mind is that these incentives are not going to last forever. Yesterday I was out showing some new construction homes, and about half the builders are no longer offering incentives. There's still some that are offering those incentives to buyers, but obviously, as things continue to move more quickly, and their homes are going under contract faster, then those incentives are likely not going to stick around. You may find some here or there, but at the end of the day, these are not going to be around forever. And the buyers that are taking advantage of that are also taking advantage of the lower interest rates, compared to the last year. But one of the things that we're looking at here now is homes that have sold here in the last 30 days. And we're going to take a look at a couple examples of homes that have sold, how much they've sold for compared to the original listing price, to kind of give you an idea. So up first here, we can see, one of the things that I want to point out is that this section right here, days on market, you can see how many homes have sold here. That shows 0. So basically when it says 0, it means that the home went under contract the same day that it was listed on the market. So it went fairly quickly. So as you can see that there's several homes here that sold, very fast, same day. They're just, didn't last on the market, so they didn't get a whole lot of, days on market to be able to, potentially they either got a cash offer or they just had multiple offers and the offers were great that they just had to, accept one. But let's just take a look at a couple here. So for example, we have this one here in West Jordan. This was looks like it was a new construction home, so there's not going to be a whole lot of change there. Let's take a look at this one in Harriman. This one also looks like it was a new construction as well. But as you can see here, this one sold for $873,000 with $21,000 in concessions. So basically, $21,000 in potentially closing costs to the buyer, or the seller contributed to buying down the buyer's interest rate. Which these are some of the deals that you can still potentially find out there. But let's take a look at it here. So a lot of these are probably going to be new construction. But as you can see here, this is another one that sold. This one sold for a little bit less than they were asking. Probably there's, this particular situation was they need to sell it urgently. But as you can see, the seller contributed $7,000 to the buyer here. Let's take a look at the next page. Homes that sold, within one day. So obviously we have this one right here in Taylorsville. This one sold for $410,000. Let's see what else we have here. We have this one in Salt Lake. This one sold in one day. The original list price was $789, sold for $750. Let's see what else we can find here. We have this one in Sandy. $675, $9,000 in concessions. So buyer, like I said, another example where the seller contributed to the buyer. Let's take a look at here. What else we have? Here's an example, one that sold over asking price. So this one, the original list price was $624,000. The sold price was $635,000, so about $10,000 more than the original asking price, with a $900 paid in concessions by the seller. Let's take a look at another one here. So this one was listed at $315,000, and as you can see here, this was a cash buyer that purchased this, but it sold for $367,500. So pretty well over the asking price. So as you can see, buyers are potentially competing against other buyers out there. So homes are selling for more what they're originally listed. Keep in mind there is going to be a combination of both depending on how well the home is priced. So it doesn't necessarily mean that every home is selling for over an asking price. It's a combination of both. But like I said, these are also homes that sold very quickly and potentially multiple offers. So here's another one sold for $425 with $7,500 in concessions. So if you're a buyer out there, I would highly encourage you to talk to somebody to see what it looks like to be able to get into a home here currently. If you have any questions, or if you're thinking about making a move here to the Salt Lake City area, all my contact information is below. I would love to answer any questions that you may have, about what it looks like to buy a home here in the current real estate market, to see if buying a home is a good fit for you. Or if you're looking to relocate here to the Salt Lake City area, I would love to hear from you as well. I hear from tons of people who are looking to make a move here to the Salt Lake City area in the state of Utah, and I love hearing from you guys. So if you're thinking about making a move here, you can call me, text me, or email me. You can also book a call with me directly down below. All of my contact information is in the description. So I look forward to hearing from you, and look forward to answering any questions that you may have about the current real estate market. So as you can see here, here's a few examples of what has happened here currently, and as you can see, that we've seen a handful that have sold for over asking price. Here's another example, sold for original list price was $600,000, sold for $610,000 with $3,000 in concessions. So a lot of these are seeing sellers still contribute to the buyer, even if they are selling for over asking price. And potentially, if you're competing against other buyers, you can still have the opportunity to have your some of your closing costs paid for. Doesn't necessarily mean that's out of the window, even on multiple offer situations. At the end of the day, there's going to be certain things that are important to the seller. that you can still make it a win-win situation for everybody. But I hope this information has been helpful as into what's going on in the real estate market. My projection is that things are going to continue to go this direction, where there's going to be more competition, and buyers are going to continue to run into multiple offer situations. But hope this information has been helpful. If you have any questions about what it's like to live here in the Salt Lake City area, or want more updates on the market, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and make sure you check out some of these other videos where I talk about everything you need to know about living here in the Salt Lake City area. Otherwise, I'll see you on the next one.